Hello, welcome back. As you can probably tell from the title, today I am going to show you all the books that I want to read in spring. I'm a real slow reader and I work a 9 to 5, so I don't read many books every month. So having a monthly wrap up doesn't really make sense to me. I usually read 2 or 3 books a month, so I was thinking of creating seasonal wrap ups. We'll try it for a few months and hope that it will work out. I don't think that I need to say anything else. So these are the books that I think that I will want to pick up in the next few months. Let me show you what they are. Let's start with romance. I am in my romance era. Yeah, I just enjoy cute stories with people falling in love. I usually enjoy dark, depressing books, but I have been a bit stressed lately, so romance books lift my spirits and make me feel happy. So I want to keep this feeling and I have a video idea. I want to make a reading vlog in which I will be reading unpopular romance books. So these are some romance books that I don't think that many people talk about, at least they're not viral, but I think that I will enjoy the story and it would make a good video. Let's see what I have. The first book that I have is Before the Rains by Dina Jefferies. We are in India in 1913 and 28-year-old photojournalist Eliza is sent to India by the British government and she has to photograph the Indian royal family. And of course she wants to make a name for herself, but when Eliza arrives at the palace, she meets Jay, the prince's handsome brooding brother. While Lisa awakens Jay to the poverty of his people, he awakens her to the injustices of British rule. Soon, Jay and Eliza find they have more in common than they think, but their families and society think otherwise. Eventually, they will have to make a choice between doing what's expected or following their hearts. It sounds fun, it sounds like it will get a bit political, and I'm all for it. Then we have the 40 Rules of Love by Elif Safak. I really should start searching the authors' names before I make any videos, but this is the book. There you go. It's a really beautiful cover. Yeah, so Ella Rubinstein has a husband, 3 teenage children, and a pleasant home. Everything that should make her confident and fulfilled. Yet there is an emptiness at the heart of Ella's life, an emptiness once filled by love. So when Ella reads a manuscript about the 13th century Sufi poet Rumi and Shams of Tabriz and his 40 rules of life and love, she is shocked out of herself. Turning her back on her family, she embarks on a journey to meet the mysterious author of this work. It is a quest infused with Sufi mysticism and verse, taking Ella and us into an exotic world where faith and love are heartbreakingly explored. This sounds so interesting and it feels like it will be a very enlightening and profound read. So I cannot wait. And the last romance book is The Parisian by Isabella Hammond. Again, this is a very beautiful cover. Midhat Kamal leaves Palestine in 1914 to study medicine in France under the tutelage of Dr. Molyneux. He falls deeply in love with Janet, the doctor's daughter, but Midhat soon discovers that everything is fragile. Love turns to loss, friends become enemies, and everyone is looking for a place to belong. Through Midhat's eyes, we see the tangled politics and personal tragedies of a turbulent era. The Palestinian struggle for independence, the strife of the early 20th century, and the looming shadow of the Second World War. Lush and immersive and devastating in its power, The Parisian is an elegant, richly imagined debut from a dazzling new voice in fiction. Again, politics and love are combined, and I guess that the outcome will be outstanding. I really like the fact that kinda see a whole journey because our character moves from one country and one culture to another country with a completely different set of principles and lifestyle. And I'm really curious to see how our character will deal with all those changes. Of course, the Palestinian issue will be raised, and I'm really excited to learn more about that. So yeah, these are the 3 romance books that I would like to read in spring. A small parenthesis, I'm currently reading Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, and we have vegan characters in this book, and I know that it will sound sick, but reading about those characters made me want to pick up Tender is the Flesh by Agustina Batsterica. I really don't know what's the correct pronunciation. Okay, I just noticed the light. Everything is dark. It's cloudy outside, and this is why this happened. In case you don't know what this book is about, we are put in a society where people eat human meat because pigs were getting sick and they had to kill them. And yeah, people started eating other humans. And yeah, yeah, I don't have anything to say really. This is fiction, and I'm just very curious to see how a world where cannibalism is justified and accepted would be. Another book that I really want to read this spring, because I've started reading more romance books, is this one, which is translated into Greek. I think the original is written in Italian, and I think that it is not translated into English. My translation would be Save the Kiss, Short Lessons About Falling in Love. And it is written by Massimo Recalcati, who is an Italian psychologist. So this is non-fiction, and I think we have short essays talking about love and falling in love. I think that since I've started reading romance, I should educate myself a little bit more on the psychology and the science behind love. The last book that I have is a classic one, because I like classics, but I haven't read that many. It is Dracula by Bram Stoker. Dracula is one of the books that I really want to read this year, and I'm planning on reading it in spring. It is a book about identity, sanity, and the dark corners of Victorian sexuality and desire. It begins when Jonathan Harkers visits Transylvania to help Count Dracula purchase a London house and makes horrifying discoveries in his client's castle. Soon afterwards, disturbing incidents unfold in England. An unarmed ship is wrecked, strange puncture marks appear on a young woman's neck, a lunatic asylum inmate raves about the imminent arrival of his master, and a determined group of adversaries prepare to battle the Count. And it got even darker as I was reading the synopsis of Dracula, so this is perfect. I don't think that I have to say much about this one. It belongs to the horror genre. I wanna go to the original Dracula and see if I will have as much fun as I had while watching BBC's production of Dracula. But even if I don't have as much fun, I think that it will be good to read the original and then have a deeper understanding of contemporary works of art that have been influenced by this one. The lighting got even worse while I was doing my outro. So you get a new outro, a new me, as there are some changes. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. You've actually managed to reach the end of the video. Let me know if you have read any of the books that I've mentioned and what you thought of them. And I would love to hear if you have any spring book recommendations for me. Thank you for sticking around. It was a tough video because of the light. Yeah, thank you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.